Oh, how wonderful it is to be right here, right now, living and moving and being in this infinite presence, in this beautiful law of life that is always the same, that never changes, that always is equal to everything, that is always giving of itself, that is pressing itself against us. This is who I am. I am the goodness of that living spirit, which I call God. It is pressing itself against me. It is who I am. I am so honored to be the hands and feet, the moving representative of this living spirit. And I know this holy truth for each and every one of us, that we are the magnificence, that we are that place, that infinite love, infinite wisdom, and the creative power of the entire universe is active, is moving, is alive.
Mhm.
So I bless our time together. I am so grateful to know that we are going to know more about who we are by the end of our time together. We are going to be stepping into our godness, our greatness as never before. And I am grateful to claim that, so that this time is extraordinary, that each one of us receives exactly what we need to keep on, to keep
Yeah.
on building that momentum of light towards our ascension. I am so grateful to lift up into our etheric temple of the Angels of Abundance Ascension Academy, and to absolutely see the beautiful rainbow lights, all the rays blazing in our altar, recognizing Cherry, our cherubim, beloved Azira, our Deva, and Ashe, our silent watcher. How grateful I am for you, our beloved caretakers of this temple.
Mhm.
And we absolutely open our hearts up to our lead practitioner, Mother Mary. Thank you, beloved Mother Mary. We're so grateful for your presence here. I also call upon the Ascended Master, Ernest Holmes, I know as Santos. We welcome you, beloved Santos, on the second ray. We welcome all the wisdom that you bring to us through this beautiful book. And may it become alive today for us, even more so as we talk about it, as we exchange our ideas. May we be lifted up into a new understanding. I'm so grateful for this time. It is good, it is done, and so it is. Beloved, I am, beloved, I am, beloved, I am.
I am, beloved, I am.
Beloved I
All right. So let's do a quick round to just check in. I know there's a lot going on. There's a lot of, well, let me just say what I've noticed in people that I've been talking to and counseling with is like the crap is being cut, you know? It's like it cannot live, you know, if there's a relationship that has been dormant and dead for a while, it is just blowing up, you know. If there's things that aren't working, they are showing themselves, and it just feels like it's a very alive time for change. And I'm so grateful that we are in community, and also we have a whole bunch of tools at our disposal. So I'll start
Mhm.
sharing. I'll start sharing because I have always been to go first because I always seem to go last. So I'm going to go first. And I released a new project, Makatillo, and I'm very, very proud of that, very happy. And also, I've been through a lot of changes because of that release. And you will find this as you get more and more in your ministry, the more every time you expand. And especially, I'm expanding here into language that most people won't understand, and they'll probably go, "Oh, what is she doing now?" And you know, all my gremlins absolutely came out of the closet, and I'm thankful to tell you that I got to the other side. Got to the other side.
Yay.
Hallelujah. So I'm standing in strength now and in surrender and gratitude. So so grateful for all of you.
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So anybody want to share what's going on with you?
I'll go.
Awesome.
I'm happy to say that everyone's prayer, uh, I felt the money came back to me. I thought it was lost and I'd given up all I just given up on it, but your prayers were so powerful and I really believed in them. And so it landed in my checking account, which I had to change. It found its way on Tuesday. And guess who the name of the Cash App is the applicant is the way I did the transaction. Guess who helped me? Guess what he called himself? Jesus.
Of course.
I was, yeah, they sent me they wanted my feedback and I said, well, you know, it took a whole month for this money to find its way back. But finally it came to Jesus and it came back to me. I know it was a whole team, but he
Oh, I
was,
think we need to do a hallelujah,
that
yeah,
was
and a joy
amazing.
cry. Oh, that is so awesome. So
Yeah,
happy for you,
Wow.
beloved.
Yeah,
thanks.
so beautiful.
Wonderful. Are you complete?
I am. Thank
Okay.
you.
Who'd like to go next?
I will go next.
All right.
I had a good birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
It was quiet, but also very nice. I'm very fortunate that I do not live alone. So I have, 8 other roommates, which can keep me company should I want to, be around others. And I had a very good FaceTime with my niece. She is now learning how to say the word uncle, so I get a greeting every time I call now, which is wonderful. And she's got this new thing where, blowing a kiss in the FaceTime is not good enough. She has to take the phone and bring it right up to her mouth and get it right on the phone. It's all wet and everything.
Oh,
She
Christopher.
does this. And I that's something that really uplifts me. It was really interesting to see because the minute that the phone got to a place where she couldn't see me, it was like, where did he go? And she'd get really upset. And then the phone would come out again. Oh, he's right there. Okay. So very,
Oh,
very much aware of things and very, yeah, she just brings me joy. So therefore I could talk about her for a long time. But that was a highlight of my day. And it was interesting that I'm also speaking with somebody in the UK to put some backing behind my affirmative prayers. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And I'm actually getting more specific downloads now. And so that's exciting time for me. I've known for a long time that I need to share my voice. And, it doesn't necessarily have to be opera singing, but to fall to, get to enjoy your own voice is even important, just as much as other people enjoying it. Your voice is your unique expression. I remember that firstly, I was searching and searching because I was convinced that somebody else had to record these. And of course, Spirit knew better. We cannot have that. So nothing worked out. Finally, when I said, okay, Spirit, I get it. I can speak the word, but do I have to do the music too? Because I don't have that equipment. And I did, no, just speak the word. So I spoke the first one and recorded today. I sent it to him, so I'm looking forward to his feedback. He has lots of kinds of instruments, so he's going to make up some customized background for my
Mhm.
my words, which is exciting.
Beautiful.
And with that, I'm complete.
Well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. We got to have a little celebration here.
Let's sing
Let's
you happy birthday.
let's not only sing happy birthday, but let's give a gift of recognition to Joseph. What is one thing that you love about Joseph? Let's just speak that out loud to him. Receive this, Joseph.
Okay.
Courage.
Compassion.
I just start out. I love the way you express yourself so beautifully with the words that you choose. It just forms pictures in my head that I just love listening to.
Carol Joan.
Courage. Willingness.
Yes.
And you just have you have a lot of authority in your willingness to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And the gift of life that you give me is you always take me deeper and make me see things from a deeper level. I love that about you. Yeah.
Yeah, and also you're so kind and compassionate with your just how you are, your being, and what you speak,
Awesome.
understanding.
All right. Are you receiving all that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's sing. Let's sing and see if Zoom can keep up with us. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joseph Gabriel, son of Gabriel. Happy birthday to you.
Joseph.
And many more.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Caroline, let's hear from you. What's going on?
Oh, see, I could say I don't have any miracle, but so, but Mother's Day was just a wonderful day. It was my kids. I went to the river with them, and we had a picnic. And although there's like sadness, but it's still. I have two beautiful kids here, and they care for me very much, and I'm very grateful.
Mm.
And then Joseph, you said something about and my two little grandkids. When you said something about your voice, and I've often thought, oh, I love just singing, like for the fun of it, and I was like, oh, I hate my voice. I want to change it. Anyways, last summer, or it was just before Jesse passed away, I got this guy. I was doing some voice lessons, and he just says, he goes, you have a unique voice. When you sing a song, don't try and sound like anybody. Be yourself. And I just thought, yeah.
Beautiful.
So when Joseph said that, I thought, that is true, right?
Yeah. No one has your imprint. No one else.
Mhm.
Are you complete?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Marjorie? You want to catch us up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've had a wonderful month. I had my birthday. This is my birthday month, and I had Mother's Day. And I have my niece and nephew who are visiting for the last 2 weeks, and they're from Seattle, and they invited me to drive back up with them to Seattle and spend some time there and fly home, which I think I'm going to do. And my niece and I, oh my gosh, we've been singing and dancing to Lionel Richie for some reason. All these Lionel Richie songs coming into our head. And we're just having a blast. And things are happening. Things are falling away around her relationships, and I'm being of support. And what's given me a different perspective, which I love. And I'm just feeling really happy.
Yay!
I just really happy and having a lot of fun. I love to dance and sing, and she loves to dance and sing with me, and we're doing it.
Grooving.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So beautiful. All right. So before we get into our I'm so glad you all are doing all right. Before we get into our study, I just want to check in because we have two today, and then in 2 weeks from now, we'll have our last time for this thing called You. And then I literally hand you over to Marjorie for Sophia Code. She's going to take you through that beautiful study and initiation of the Sophia Code. So,
I did that. Yeah.
yeah, cool. We finally have some time to really focus on the Lady Masters. Yeah, they're powerful. So I want to just check in, see how you're doing with the Mystical Journey sessions. Anybody want to, anything that's come up that's been difficult or you need to talk about?
I have just one thing. I really want to expand, and I discussed this with Paula and Lita in the Wisdom Circle. But I always want to hear another perspective. I want to expand and reach out to those folks who really don't think they're connected.
Mm.
They don't believe in anything. How do I reach them? And, what are the magic words?
You mean how do you reach them, or how do you reach them for do you mean in general, or do you mean for a Mystical Journey session?
Yeah, in general, just, art for me has been a wonderful way to say things without actually saying them. And I wonder if this is that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Your art is like music. It's such a universal language.
Would
Definitely.
agree.
What is, I'm trying to understand a little bit more what your question is. Is that you want to expand your field of ministry?
Yes, I don't want to offend anyone. I just want to include everyone when I say I can connect with your heart without sounding like an egotistical, arrogant fool,
I don't ever hear you sounding like that. I don't think you could if you tried.
Well, in this community, we all know that we're just expanded consciousness, and we can claim things that do sound that way. To an outsider, they might seem that way, but I am always rooting for the underdog, and I want to reach the outsider, because I've been there.
Yeah. And that's where you're going to connect because you've been there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've been there. So remember how I always say the most important thing in a Mystical Journey session is to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing, simply by being present, being available
Mm-hmm.
with your attention. There's a lot of people like that. And it might be a great idea to expand some of your Mystical Journey sessions. You hang out on Facebook, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And maybe, some of those, like there's some light workers, and there's some people that come on there and they're like, what would you do if you were me? And they give a scenario. You can always direct message those people and say, hey, would you like to have a Mystical Journey session?
That's an interesting way to approach it. What would you do? Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put out, like, I'm giving free Mystical Journey sessions out on a general Facebook page, and I wouldn't do that because I think it's too opening up the door. But if there's
Yeah.
somebody there that you feel like you could really touch, reach out to them.
How would you explain it to them? What it is? Like, everyone would, most people go, oh, well, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, you need to find your own word for it.
Mm,
So
yeah.
what is it for you?
Mm,
You know, maybe you could say it's a spiritual counseling session, a spiritual mentorship. I'm kind of like a midwife while you
right.
discover
Okay.
your own connection. You could call it a birthing section, a session. I don't. You got to find your own words for it. Actually, what do you say, Marjorie?
I say it's about connecting with the divine in you. If you haven't met any of your masters, perhaps you could. I talk about my experience of what I've done. Um, and I said we have to wait and see because we're not in charge. We turn it over to spirit.
Mm,
Yeah,
I don't know if I just want to say we're not in charge, but it's that's what makes it mystical.
yeah.
Maybe we're not in charge actually. So
You're opening the door.
yeah,
Well,
that's what
and
better.
people, you know, here's an hour you get to talk about yourself. People love to talk about themselves, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, people love to also help you out because you're doing it for your certification.
Mhm.
So people love to help with that kind of stuff. And they know what counseling sessions are, spiritual counseling session.
Yes.
And there's a definition actually on the website of what it is. And I think it just says something very general, like, you know, it's a time for you to discover something. And we will basically be there as a witness and holding the space for you to discover what it is you need to see. And with the help of the masters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe holding the space to discover your highest potential, um, holding the space to connect with your own heart, holding the space to find out what you really want. Things like that are coming in my mind, just sharing them as they pop up.
Yeah, cool. You know, as we get into build your practice, you're going to get more clear about how to say that. I used to call my sessions free clarity sessions with prayer, you know. So you'll find out what's a good
Okay.
way for you. Right now, we're calling them mystical journey sessions because that's what we give here. But you do not need to use that name if it's not comfortable with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. And how about your prayer partnerships? How they're going? How's it going?
Mm.
mm.
Okay, it sounds like it's kind of dead in the water. Is it? Is it dead in the water? How are you guys doing with it? Yeah?
For me, I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly sensitive. I could use more connection.
Okay. So do you think it works better if you just go one on one with someone instead of just calling somebody? Because way we left it last time was that you're gonna speak for somebody and somebody else is gonna speak for you.
Yeah, yeah, I do think I think it's good when we're more or less assigned a prayer partner and we're kind of obligated, we're tied to each other and we're obligated to be in touch.
Okay, thank you for saying that. How about you, Joseph and Caroline? What is your feedback about it?
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, I do it. They're on my list. It's not like I don't, but
But you're not connecting with each other.
yeah, like once in a while one message, but not like I
Yeah.
did before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I think I'm going to do is I'll assign two of you to be prayer partners for the next 2 months, and the other person I'm going to assign to one of the new practitioners, so you can have somebody that's your prayer partner. Since we have a trio going on here, does that sound good, Marjorie?
Mhm. I'd be willing to jump in,
Okay.
but it would just be until what would be the end of it for the rest of until they
Two-
graduate, or
No, 2
True.
months.
2 months?
2 months.
Yeah, I could
I
with
can
some
do-
flexibility if that, unless you want to have a new practitioner, Jennifer.
Um,
Yeah.
you have plenty coming up, and you're also facilitating the Mother Mary Healing Circle. So I think I'd rather get somebody else so you're not overburdened with stuff. Okay.
Never overburdened, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Let's begin. And thank you so much for your generosity, beloved. I appreciate it more than you know. Okay, guys, let's start. Carol Joan, I believe you are starting us off, and I'm going to put a timer on. So we'll be in that limitation of 10 minutes. You're welcome to go under 10 minutes, but try not to go over.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I prepared a little something to read for this. Chapter 9, I call it Partners in Believing. And this chapter is all about getting clear with who we are as consciousness beings. Ernest Holmes delivers the absolute truth to anyone willing to listen to their own conscious evolution, ever expanding. He shares through our affirmations of faith, we are giving ourselves treatments that will change the way we think, act, and love. Everything I'm saying, I just love. I just think, oh my goodness, we have the authority over our consciousness. It's amazing. It is the intellect. Oh, quote, this is a quote from the chapter 9. He says,
Beloved, could you share the page number if possible when you share so we can kind of follow along? Is that possible?
Not without me having to go search for it.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
I'm sorry, but
That's all right. I wasn't clear with that instruction before, but it just kind of helps us to stay with you a little bit better. And
okay.
keep going.
It's all in chapter 9. It is the intellect and the subconscious self which need renewing. And so, more than being consciously aware, we are co-creators of consciousness within our being. Peace comes from a sense of union with the whole. And by the way, I am submerged in peace. That song, I was in this chapter. Beautiful. Peace comes from a sense of union with the whole. Confusion comes from a sense of separation. Rising above the confusion, you affirm the divine presence and all of its beauty, all of its power, and all of its peace. We are totally capable of empowering our individual consciousness to be a foundation of affirmation. You are now in a position, this is a quote also, you are now in a position to turn any specific condition or discord and to speak truth with authority, and to reverse it. And I really resonated with this chapter. It was very personable for me. I've been on a quest my whole life to heal my ancestry, my family, mental illness, my emotions, my physical body. It all connects. And I set about to prove how it all connects, even when I was in my 20s and 30s. And I can't believe how I was illuminated receiving divine ideas, although I felt like I was in the dark, but I was receiving divine ideas to go to art school and to learn how to use all this stuff constructively, to apply it in my life. And then I fell in love with affirmation and the Mandela. So this was the first project I did when I entered the academy. It's the consecration. It's when we were doing the Elohim class and affirming, I am a consecrated vessel through which the divine substance is pouring through me. And then I have to share this because this is a huge affirmation.
Oh,
And I
I know that.
love this book and Jennifer's song about it. I am the little green dragon. And
Yes.
everywhere I go, I'm walking on holy ground.
Amen.
Yes.
And all of it is affirmation. And, I learned about doing collage, soul collage and Caroline and I did a little bit of this, and it was amazing for me.
Yes. Beautiful.
Having all these affirmations in place are a meditation to do a collage, a soul collage, and learn what your soul is trying to tell you. And this one, I learned that, oh my God, some of my aspects were coming home, returning to me. And I have to embody, this is the way I am. I have to embody affirmations. So I have to make them playful and colorful and artful, so I can plaster them all over my, in my, I live alone, I can do what I want. It's, I have to do all the affirmations. And so in doing the ones that Ernest Holmes has in the book, I find my own truth. It's really amazing. And so, today, Jennifer, I did a little Zoom call so I could download her new album. I was having issues. So I had that music and, it totally sparked me to prepare for this lesson. And it was magic. And it really did help me find all the right words. They just came. I was in a flow of abundance all day. It was amazing. So that's really all I have to share.
You got time. You have 2 minutes left.
I have 2 minutes. Affirmations have changed my life because they really do change your thinking and the way you act. And they put you in a union with everything. It really is a unification process, of your mind, body, and soul. I really do feel. So despite, like with the money and all that, despite what's going on, I can hold space for the truth, like Joseph says.
Beautiful. Amen. Thank you, beloved.
Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Hallelujah. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Partners in Believing. That was the name that you gave that chapter. Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. All right, I'm writing down everybody's name from every year and under the chapters. I'm getting a lot of different ones, so it's awesome. Okay, who has chapter number 10? All right, Carol, I muted you there for there you go.
The universe responds when you respond.
The universe responds when you respond.
Yeah. So, recognizing my body is a temple of the living spirit, and to lose, he talks about losing sense of being separated. Sorry, there's some noise here. Of being separated. And it's always connecting to the good. And I do have some page numbers here. Have an inward sense of feeling of the divine presence at all times. And that's on page 91.
So sorry.
That's all right. Oh, and losing your sense of being separated is on page 60 or 91 too. When you want to live, he explains when you want to live in the kingdom of heaven, forget hell. When you want to be abundant, forget lack, like lose all that. Whatever you, sorry, what it is that you focus on, or what you is what you will become. Okay. I have it here. Whatever you identify yourself with, you will become. And this is on page, 93. Whatever you resist until you make it reality, you will also become like it. And I know, like, there's so many things in my life that I resist, and I'm like, wow, it's like, I think basically what he's saying is it is what it is, to accept it. But when I'm resisting it, and I think that's kind of like, it shouldn't be like that, whereas I think all the things should be like that. Jesus Spirit, little there, well, maybe I can find it in here. Spent very little time in negative thought, only enough to see through it, and then to reverse the false sense of it with the truth, always with the realization of the truth. And he talks about the short story of in the Bible when with the fishes and the loaves, and how everybody saw lack, everybody saw no food, but he recognized it, but he knew the truth. He just knew the truth, and he knew that he would be provided for. Yeah, I love that when he said Jesus spent very little time in negative. Yeah. God is not only where you are, he is who you are, or what you are. So he's not always even just with me. He is what I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a big one. That's like, I was going to read this. So in that, here's this little prayer, and it is on page 98. I guess it's a little treatment. I am aware of the divine within me. Peace, quiet, and confidence flow through my thought. I know that inspiration and guidance are mine. I permit myself to be moved upon the divine intelligence. Laying aids every sense of burden or false responsibility. losing all fear and uncertainty from my thought. I enter into the kingdom of good today. I know that this kingdom is accessible to all.
Mm.
Yeah. Whereas I know for me, lots of times I can go, oh, they can do it. They've done that for so many years. And, but, you know, it's within me too, right? It's like, and lots of things I've learned, I felt that my body is nothing, but it holds it is the temple of my spirit. So in that way I can say I'm looking after my body because it is the temple of my spirit. Kind of saw that in here, and I don't remember where that is, but it is. And always seeing through physical obstruction. There, when I realize and know that the divine presence is who I am all the time, there is no obstruction. My physical eyes might see obstruction, but there actually is no obstruction beyond that veil. So, so yeah, pretty much that is my, and I'm probably way under 10 minutes. Oh, I did like this part. To can I find it and read it?
Absolutely.
He says this is a must practice. Is I know I underlined it here. You should always accept. Sorry. You should always accept instantaneous and permanent results from your treatments. Unless you expect such results, you cannot attain them. Since your denial of each result would be using the law in reverse. Practice is complete abundance. Practice at complete abandonment to faith. And I'm going, whoa, that's like, this you must do for yourself. And I love that because it's like, if this is what I want, I can only stand in the faith. I can't even waver going, it might not happen or it might not happen to me. It's like, I have to stand in here and I have to practice that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like full commitment, right?
I know. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I know this? Because you have no excuses. That's it.
Oh, beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Anybody else want to share any insights from this chapter? It is a powerful chapter. Oh, they're
It is
all
a
are.
power.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that complete abandonment to faith. That touched me too when I read it this time. It's like you have to stand in that absolutism, that there is only one power that is working here, and it works by the power of your word to speak it into life. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like it's like commitment.
Yeah. And it's kind of commanding, right? Like it's my word commands, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, beautiful.
I really love the title you gave the chapter.
Oh, I'm going like, that's the last thing I did. I don't know, but it came to me.
Perfect.
I do know.
Yeah. And I would also even say the universe responds to me,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It responds to
That
me.
would, yes.
Yeah.
Responds to me, yeah.
Every single little step that we take towards that faith in that law, it takes like 10 to us, it's so fabulous. Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you, Caroline. That was awesome. All right, let us start with chapter. We are now gone into number 11. Joseph.
All right. There is some connections from the other chapters in this one, but I'll start by it. He begins with the idea that it is wise to suspend the idea of good and evil as opposing entities to each other and realize there is only one principle. There is but one power wherever it is perceived and understood. That which defeats you when you use it in a limiting way gives you victory when you change your attitude towards it. So the law and the universe is always saying yes. But most of the time, in my experience, what gets in the way is those counter current thoughts that come up. Like, if you wanted to be a millionaire, by the time 5 years passes, something might automatically come up that says, have you seen your bank account lately? So, uh, so it's important. He reiterates over and over that it always corresponds to your mental attitude.
Mhm.
Partway down each page, he has some of affirmations that were meant possibly for a treatment or to highlight. And the two of them that stuck out for me is, there is nothing in me that can doubt that good will make its appearance in my experience. There is
Yes.
nothing in me that can dissipate my faith or dim its clear realization. I see everyone that which I see in everyone that which I know to be true for myself. So I highlighted those because I like some.
Can I stop you here for a second?
Yeah.
Because those are some powerful examples of using negation in prayer. When you need to bolster your faith, when you say there is nothing in this person I'm speaking for that can doubt the goodwill that appears to be their experience. There's nothing within her that can dispute her faith or dim her clear realization. Yeah, awesome. Keep going.
Yeah. It goes on to talk a little bit about praying for someone else. So it's not a formal introduction to spiritual mind treatment, but he talks about first you have to recognize the power and then have the person unify with it, which is the first two steps. But the main thing he addresses is that one of the things I highlighted says, he's talking about a client and he says, he would like and is willing to believe that you must know. So it goes back to what Caroline was saying about standing in that absolute, and that they are just knowing for you in their own mind until you can get there yourself.
Mhm.
It's and that a practitioner helping another is just to help you get over a rough spot. He uses those words, rough spot, but you're ultimately responsible. He also goes on to say, I like this sentence, words are molds into which the creative substance of your consciousness flows.
I love that.
Words without meaning, while they may have some effect through repetition, cannot have the same effect that words with meaning have. Your words will have meaning in such degree as you actually feel that they are the activity of spirit within you. So I think, or I feel that that's a way of getting at, your level of conviction. The words and the prayer will have more meaning the higher your level of absolutism and
Mhm.
conviction is.
Mm.
Bear with me a second, I lost my place. It says here in the highlight, it says, it is neither the power, the presence, nor the law that you lack. If you do lack anything, it is the consciousness or awareness. This consciousness is a thing of thought and conviction. It is a thing of faith and understanding. No one can give this to you but you. And if you have it, no one can take it away from you. I know that the truth within me is always triumphant. And
Beautiful.
truth lives forevermore at the center of my being. So
Beautiful.
I really resonated with this quote this time when I read it. He talks also about Jesus again. You can imagine how Jesus's mind might work. He knew that the truth could set this man free. He knew that God already was incarnated in him and did not really need to reincarnate. He knew that spirit of this man had never been born and could never die. Jesus wiped out the belief in all previous sins or mistakes through his awareness of God, who is ever present, whose vision never fails, and whose all-seeing eye has never dimmed. There was a couple mentions of Jesus in the other chapters too, which I highlighted. So he came back to that over and over.
Mm.
Absolutely, the Immaculate Concept. I would call that too, what you just read.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think to close, it says when you give a treatment or a prayer, you are focusing a power and giving conscious direction to something which has accumulated within you through conscious recognition. The peace your intellects affirmed must be backed, hang on, that doesn't make sense. The peace your intellect affirms must be backed by a consciousness generated through perhaps repeated effort. The reward is worthy of the endeavor. If at all times you are seeking inwardly to be aware of the divine presence, you will find it easier to direct the law. And this one is very nice. The spirit within me reaches out and communes with the spirit in everything and everyone I contact.
Yeah.
And then it gets to chapter 12. So that's all that I have to share.
Wonderful. And what did you call this chapter?
I called the chapter Living Life in Principle, Transcending Limitations.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joseph. That was lovely. All
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Marjorie, are you ready?
I am. I love
Like
this chapter. I love this chapter. It's a chapter that I use when I pray with people about death. And I have two. I'm just going to go ahead and, because it's almost 5, just say some of the ones that are just powerful that I use all the time. I stand amidst the eternal ways and let the winds of God blow full and free around me. Page 110. And this other one, instead of saying you are, this is on page 108, I say I am an eternal being now on the pathway of endless unfoldment, never less, but always more myself. That's page 108.
Your page numbers are different than mine for some
I
reason.
think so. I have a version,
Yeah.
I think.
That's on my
Ev-
page 124.
Yes.
125.
There's so much from this chapter that I use a lot. Let me say another one. Every problem contains its own answer if you think of a problem merely as a question and an inquiry, not as an obstruction.
Yeah, I love that.
Thinking of it this way keeps your mind not on the repetition of the thoughts or about the problem, but on the receipt of a definite answer. And that's on page 103 at the top. And then the bottom 104, this is about receiving. I realize that divine spirit can give me only what I receive, knowing what the spirit does must do through me. I now accept the gift of life. I love that. Let me see. And he talks about you have to love your fellow man if you wish to be happy, which I think that fits right into forgiveness. Page 108, you are an eternal being now on the pathway of endless unfoldment, never less, always more of yourself. Oh, that was the one I said before. Okay. 109, you have a silent partner within you, whose energy is inexhaustible and whose intelligence is without limit. So you are always more, never less, is how I interpret that, with spirit within you. And then at the bottom of that page, it says, I know that I'm not limited by anything that has happened or by anything that is now happening.
So
In other words,
powerful.
I'm a limitless being having a spiritual experience.
Mhm.
I'm moving on to 110, moving right along. I am aware that the truth is making me free from any belief in want, lack, or limitation. There is no doubt or uncertainty in my mind. I like to use this for abundance too. Therefore, I'm not afraid of life or death, for I know that death is swallowed up in life. And I know that every living soul will find complete emancipation sooner or later. Therefore, I stand amidst the eternal ways and let the winds of God blow full and free around me. That one's when I said in the very beginning. And then then he ends this chapter with each autumn brings its harvest. Shot from the invisible into the experience, it can constitute your great reality. But why wait for physical death to enjoy and experience your mortal being? Do not prepare to die. Prepare to live, whether you are 10 years old or 100. There is no death. It is impossible for you to die. Stop trying to die and learn to live. That's on page 111. And then I'll end it with the last sentence in this chapter. Plant then new hopes and aspirations. The Lord of the harvest will permit you to reap what you have sown.
Beautiful.
I
Thank you,
love this
Mark.
chapter.
I love it too, Margie. Did you name this chapter something? Did you find a title for it?
I just freedom to soar.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, all of you. Oh, we lost Joseph.
I have one quick question because you mentioned it. You said something about immaculate concept, and I've heard it before. So is that holding it for someone? Okay, example, like, like with the stuff I went through with Jesse, and then I see my grandkids, and I worry that it can go through the family. So instead of doing that, how is there holding immaculate concept for my kids or my grandkids? Or so what am I holding?
You're holding that place of perfection.
Mm.
That, I guess you could say whole, perfect, and complete. It's another way to say the immaculate concept. But immaculate concept, which Mother Mary is teaching us so much about in her writings, is really holding that place for somebody, even if they don't look like that on this earth. I'm really trying to do that with my son, who is using again. And it's difficult, but it's like I'm determined to learn how to do this.
Right.
And I know that he's been given to me so that I can learn how to do this.
Right.
And as a practitioner, that is our job, always to look at someone as whole, perfect, and complete, no matter what, no matter what the appearances are. Yeah, great question.
Thank you. Yeah, because and I think in that book that we were reading, it says how Mary just kept holding immaculate concept for Jesus, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not married, but I'm like, oh my God, we should be, as a mom, I should be able to hold that for my kids too, right?
Yeah, as a high priestess as well.
Mm.
And another way to say it is see their Christ presence.
Right.
The Christ presence. Yes.
Thank you.
Love that. All right, I have something to share with you here. And this is what you're going to be doing. Of course, we're going to read as well. I'll be giving you're going to have another chapter. Marjorie, you don't need to do another one. I'll do another one.
Okay, hon, I'm gonna jump off. Okay, hop on this violet flame.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, beloveds.
Thank you.
So we're entering Jedi training number 3. And do this as often as you can. I would do it every day if you can. So we're going to take a writing right from chapter 11 in this thing called You. And it's the spirit of infinite peace flows through my whole being. I live, move, and have my entire existence in this peace. I know there's no judgment, no condemnation, and no fear. I realize that everyone and everything is struggling toward the light. I know that peace exists at the center of everything. I let go of all confusion and permit myself to rise into that realm of pure spirit, which is forever free from doubt and uncertainty. I know that God is right where I am. So I would suggest you do this lying down, if you can find 5 minutes, and speak this, and then call in Archangel Michael and Lady Master Astrea. Lie down and turn your attention to these beings of light and love, and ask them to seek and find anything within you that isn't in alignment with your heart's desire that you've been working with in this course, and transmute it into light. So we're going to be using the follow technique, and this is all on the website, so you don't have to write it down unless you want
Okay.
to. And all you need to say is, my attention is available, and then follow wherever they lead, or put your Holy Christ self in charge of it and just follow wherever they may lead, especially maybe down memory lane in your etheric body, and feel yourself lifting up into a column of pure light as high as you can go, and encapsulate in a cocoon of pure light. This light is the very creator substance that is the divine pattern behind your heart's desire. You are surrounded, submerged, and immersed in this divine substance. There's no opposition here. Even your own thoughts, I have to say, sometimes we just have to realize that we're not limited even by our own thoughts. Although a lot is talked about by thoughts and the science of mind, that's a wonderful thing about working with the Ascended Masters, is we can go beyond our own thoughts. Then create an invocation, a prayer container, a mold of conviction for your heart's desire. Use the prayers and words in this thing called You to help you. But literally, you're going to craft a prayer around your heart's desire. And continually allowing yourself to see where you might be limiting yourself. And then say this prayer out loud in your divine authority with conviction, Keep fine tuning this prayer every day until it burns in your belly and you really feel that ramping up, that feeling of creation.
This prayer right here, in here.
Yeah, this prayer that you're going to be
Yeah.
creating. You're going to be creating a prayer. So
Oh, okay.
start with this prayer, Ernest Holmes prayer.
Okay.
Allow Archangel Michael and Lady Master to just point to you anything that might be in the way. And then you're going to craft, as you go into this column of pure light and get in a cocoon of pure light, you're going to feel the substance, the divine pattern. It's the second, that is to me the second step of precipitation. You're going to really get into the heart's desire and perceive what it is, and then craft a prayer around it. And next time we're together, we're going to be sharing your journey with your heart's desire, whatever it may be, in our last circle. And you'll be speaking out loud your prayer of conviction. So that is your assignment. And we're going to be doing chapters 13, 14, 15, and 16. So basically, we're going to be finishing up the book. I'll take chapter 13. So who would like to have 14?
I will.
Okay. All right, you got 14. And Carol Joan, you take 15.
Yep.
And we'll give Joseph number 16. Awesome. The other thing I wanted to share with you, because I've been doing this work a lot, is my desire to get my new music out there and in a new way. I've been really working with my etheric body, and I would really suggest that doing this exercise with your etheric body and Archangel Michael and Lady Master Astrea. Do you remember who Lady Master Astrea is?
No.
She is the fourth Elohim on the fourth ray, the mighty Elohim. And what she does is she takes her flame, her sword, and circle. Oh, got stuff there. Her sword and circle of blue flame. I have a picture of this on my wall so I remember what it looks like. And it actually captures the old misqualified energy and absolutely releases it into purity. So she's a powerful combination with Archangel Michael to really do this work.
Sorry, captures what?
The misqualified, they call it misqualified energy, or we could call it old stuck shadow energy, any subconscious blocks. We have a lot of words for it now. But when they wrote all this stuff, they just called it misqualified energy.
Right. Do you have that picture on the site website or anything?
No, but I just went and I searched Lady Master Astrea.
Oh, okay.
And then I just printed it out. I'm sure this is a copyright one, but it's just for my own use. I didn't think there was a big deal about that. And Carol Joan, I think you should do a picture.
Yeah.
Because she lassos it. She actually, you can feel the energy of it. And there's in this thing, not this thing got you, but 21 lessons that we use in the Company of Heaven and You. It's one of our textbooks, but to me, it's really a powerful 21 essential lessons. Has at the end of chapter 5. It has daily application. It's called daily application, and actually, there's an affirmation there with Lady Master Astrea. It takes you a whole process. We've done it before. I know you guys have heard me talk about it before. Where are you? I'm sorry, I don't know exactly. Here we go. It's at the end of, I think it's page 97. No, not quite. But it takes you through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suggested daily decrees and the way to do a daily application. And there's an affirmation with her in there. I have it marked in my Kindle, but I don't see it right here now. I'll send that to you. I'll send a page number in an email because I know it's time for us to get going. Okay. Any comments, any questions?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Carol Joan, would you bless us on our way with the benediction, please?
Sure.
Thank
sure.
you.
Hmm. How grateful I am to close us out and speak a word to bless us on our way. Mm. And acknowledge our time spent together has been just sublime. Anytime that we get to connect with our oneness, with our divinity, with our I am presence in the company of others is truly wonderful. Thank you, beloved Mother Mary, for being here with us. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting this time. And so I release this word and know that we are blessed and truly holy. Thank you, beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am.
And so it is. Thank you.
What is?
Thank you so much. You guys are
Thank you.
doing great. I love you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.